Attention. Welcome to the Different Spectrums podcast. We dive into the wild world of mental health discussions. Get ready for profound talks, a sprinkle of humor and sarcasm, and a touch of colorful language. Just a quick heads up, our show reflects our individual opinions, which may not align with the standpoint of the podcast, our featured guests, or any related corporate entities. Our mission? To illuminate through laughter and satire because everyone needs a good chuckle. Chill out and don't stress over the small stuff. Legal troubles? No, thank you. Cancel culture? Please spare us. We'd rather keep this space lawsuit free. So buckle up, have a good time, and join us as we navigate the vibrant realm of mental health on the Different Spectrums podcast. Hey everybody, we back again.
Hey, we're back. We're live.
I'm Spencer here, co-host. Of course, we have our licensed clinical therapist, Nas.
Dr. Nas. Dr. Stinky Nas. I was going to say something about my beard, and I put beard dye in it yesterday, but I lost it. I'm sorry.
Put beard dye in?
I did. I look so young. I look like a young 57.
I could still see the grays from here, but you didn't do
it was just
that
the
good
other,
of a job.
No, it was like mascara, but for your beard. I put it on like this too.
You're just like, I feel like the prettiest girl at the ball.
I did.
Modern Cinderella over there. Hey, remember, don't take us too seriously.
Or do. It's completely up to you.
There you go. Also, don't forget to run up those likes for us. We'd really appreciate it. I just thought of like Cinderella in like size 12 glass slippers. Like, damn.
Size 15 glass slippers.
Prince Charming's like, God damn. Wide? Anywho,
yep.
We have a guest today, as you can tell. She is the head adaptive strength and conditioning coach and para-powerlifting coach at the University of Michigan Adaptive Sports and Fitness Program. On top of that, she's also living with the classical Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and turned all the "you can't do that" messages into a mission, proving that adaptive athletes don't just deserve access, they deserve elite training, respect, and competition. Please welcome Abbey Phillipson to the show.
Hello, hello. Thank you for the two applauses.
1, 2. We don't know how to put in applause.
Nope, I got the machine. I'll fix it by next week.
Okay, that doesn't help now. All
Man,
right.
I should have signed up for next week.
Yeah. Sorry, just missed it.
Yeah.
So today we are going to actually talk about the show Adaptive on Peacock, which follows 4 para-athletes, or adaptive athletes as they call it, going through the Olympic training, the Olympic just struggles, not just physically but mentally as well. It's a great series. I hope they do a season 2. I just watched it last night. I thought it was great storytelling. And it was by Dick's Sporting Goods, which I was like, I didn't know they did shows, so guess they do everything. But I thought it was a great show. Just kind of highlighting just athletes in general, but highlighting athletes that don't get the coverage that, say, able-bodied athletes get, unfortunately. And I think it's a great story, and I think that it's going to be something in the future that we get even more attention to.
Yep.
So that then maybe they can do this full-time instead of having to do it part-time, because Olympic athletes,
It's a grind.
They have to do it part-time, and it sucks because it's like you do 4 years and then you get like a couple seconds, and then that's it, and then you gotta wait another 4 years, and it's something else. So hopefully that'll be something. But yeah, so we have a lot of great topics to talk about. We're going to be talking about just locking in to the moment for any athlete, and then we're also going to talk about how in this documentary they don't mention disabilities. They just mention it being athletes, especially in that beginning clip that we're doing. So This is going to be a great talk. Great to have you, Abby. Naz, anything before we get into it?
For those of the folks, the bodies work differently. We're going to talk about that. Trials and tribulations, whether the same or how they differ. Abby will talk about that. We'll also talk about the horribleness of a loss and how is that the same? How does that differ? Also, we'll talk about your journey and your trip through your disabilities or different abilities, and what the hell is Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And I might have a lot of girlies that are listening right now that have the same issues. And so a lot of them go through a lot of mental health related stuff. So we're going to talk about that too as well. Be prepared for those questions. I'm excited. We're going to have some fun. We're going to talk some shit, and we're going to do our best not to get anyone fired. Okay.
Yeah, please. I really like my job, so if we could keep that.
Too late. Bye.
You garbage. Okay. Whoop, whoop.
That was too
Whoop,
good.
whoop.
Woo.
Well, that was close enough.
Yeah, one whoop.
Give us a whoop, whoop so we can end.
Whoop whoop.
There.
That worked.
There it is.
There it is.
Got some flavor.
Girl, you might be Southern.
Where are you from? The South?
You like seasonings? I'm
South Michigan.
South Michigan.
My whoop whoop, a little Cajun, a little.
No, you're fine. You just had some spice to it. No, where are you? Before we start, where are you from?
I'm from Southeast Michigan. I born and raised 30 minutes outside of Ann Arbor. Did my undergrad in Ann Arbor, work in Ann Arbor. So I've been here for 8 years.
Look at you.
I hate Ohio State. If you were wondering if that
Holy
extends
shit.
to literally everybody, I hate
Calm
them so
down.
much.
I mean,
Last night was the best night of my life when another school beat Ohio State.
I live in Indiana. People were going nuts, and we're Purdue fans. Like it was great. I was watching the game while doing therapy with a client. They're like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Nothing."
It like bonds everybody together. Like hate, I can't lie to you. Hate is a strong bonding material. It's a little scary.
I know.
But like,
wait till you talk about racism. Have you ever thought about joining that team?
that's what I'm saying. It's scary how much it extends to like other. Like you find somebody else who hates the same race as you, and all of a sudden you're best.
My
like, that's
God.
crazy.
that's funny. That's a good one. We can all join together and hate the same group of people. Holy shit.
That's actually how it goes.
How have we not thought of this?
You know what? Thank God for the internet.
Why do you think people gossip with their homies? It's like, do you hate Jessica? I hate Jessica. And then they're besties.
Also, she's black. So let's
Oh my God. I was
group
going to
that
say
in.
she's a woman.
You look a little disabled to you.
Oh my God.
She don't look right.
Oh my God. How am I embarrassed? I'm never embarrassed.
I know. What do you do?
You're a little disabled too. Oh my God. Jesus. Well, that's the show, people. FYI, for anyone who's watching, all of our followers know that we use a lot of sarcasm. For any of people that follow Abby, this is a lot of sarcasm that was just said. We do not endorse any hate, but if you want to hate a specific person, like we like have on the previous pods, then you're more than welcome to listen to those pods and understand the people that we very much dislike. But right now, Abby does not dislike anyone, and they are good.
Just Ohio State.
Just a good Christian girl.
That's the only one that's on the record. Ohio State.
I know. I just wanted to say, I thought it was funny. All right, we're getting to the fucking scenes.
Where's
Let's
your cross? Anywho.
Gotta rub my rosary. That sounded weird. We're done.
Buddy, I'm gonna be trying to get to the 2020 of the Paralympics in Tokyo. It's just the beginning. I'll be 15, pretty young, but I'm gonna work.
Back to the men's high jump, T63.
Bill, the rain is really coming down. You can see the pools of water on this track.
So 16-year-old Ezra Freck is still in the thick of things in the high jump, and his family is looking on.
Got this!
First attempt for Ezra Freck with the bar up at 6 feet even, 1.83 meters. 5 athletes have come to this height. Here comes Ezra Freck's first attempt, and down goes the bar, so he still has 2 more chances at this height.
I was so prepared. It
was going to be the moment that I had been waiting for so long.
I want to go to the Paralympics someday.
Oh yeah, I want to go to the Paralympics.
The 2020 Tokyo Paralympics.
I wanted to go out there and win a medal in Tokyo. I wanted to go out there and show the world that I wasn't just a little kid anymore. I'd grown up, I had matured, I'd worked really hard.
All right, second chance for the 16-year-old Ezra Freck.
Before I took that third jump, I said, nothing matters at this point. Take everything you've learned and produce one perfect jump. That's all I needed. Let's get one perfect jump. One jump for eternity.
For Ezra Freck, his third attempt at this height. The 16-year-old needs the clearance to get up and over the bar here.
I'm rising up. I'm floating over the bar. I rotate. I land on the opposite shoulder. I cleared the bar. I jump up. And there's a red flag. And the bar's down. I literally had the perfect jump. Why is the bar down? The blade clipped the bar, and I didn't even feel it. And I'm out. I'm out of the competition. In 5th place.
So in his first Paralympic Games at just 16 years old, Ezra Freck finishes 5th. We may see him for 2 more decades at the Paralympic Games.
I look over to my left, and it was all of the medalists taking a photo. They were all standing there with their flags, hands up in the air. I just took it in. I said, never again. Never again will I allow myself to feel like this. So now, it's my screensaver. Never again. Right there.
What? We are so...
Thank you. Thank you. And say that as many times as you want to say. It doesn't make me feel any better. I appreciate it. Thank you for saying that. You know, it's been a lifelong dream of mine to come out here. Been a lifelong dream to get on that podium. I remember this moment, and this won't happen again.
And we're back again.
We're back in my life. That's it. I got nothing.
Nothing?
No, that was just
no.
I was supposed to say something funny,
but he couldn't think of anything. He's had like 8 months to think about it.
We haven't had. You're the first podcast we've done in like literally 3 months. It's been fantastic that we are so far ahead. We're back and we're live. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
WWTZMWF won the flame.
Why does it gotta be the flame?
I don't know.
What are you doing, man? My
client yesterday said that his DJ name was DJ Foreplay. And I was like, no. I'm done.
Pretty good, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm done. I'm done.
Not a bad thing to be known about. I don't know.
I was fucked up, bro.
Nice. Anywho, this is a podcast. So hello. Abbey, welcome to the show. It's already been like almost an hour, feels like.
It has.
But it has flown by. So for some of our listeners, I would love to know just who, how should I frame this? Let's frame it as what do you do? And then I would love to know, how did you get to where you are now?
Totally. Do you want the long-winded answer, or you want something like really short, sweet?
Long-winded.
Long-winded. Okay.
Yeah. Very autistic, very ADHD winded. Yeah, ADHD winded. Very tangential, random stories. Talk about your dog. Yep.
Okay. And this is the one podcast that I'm not going to get like cut off for a long-winded answer. So this is great. Okay. Hi, I'm Abbey. I am the head coach for strength and conditioning at the University of Michigan for adaptive sports and fitness. We have 5 Paralympic sports. I do the strength and conditioning programs for all of them. And I'm also the founder and head coach of the Powerlifting team, which is the first ever collegiate Powerlifting team that is offered also at the University of Michigan Adaptive Sports and Fitness. So I'm not just like able-bodied, going and doing some charity work, helping the disabled youth of America or whatever. I myself.
You're like the Blind Side mom. You're like, the nice, good white mom.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Actually, I'm just trying to like get some content out of this and whatever. No, I grew up with a physical disability myself. I was born with a congenital connective tissue disorder. I have a very rare type of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Ehlers-Danlos syndrome has gotten a lot of like Instagram trendy hype as of late. But I have a very, very rare form of it. So
Wow.
I'll get like the same girly comments. I'm like, we're not the same. But yeah. So I have classical Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a mutation of the collagen producing gene, type 5 collagen specifically. So I don't make that. And so my skin is like crazy elastic. So if you're watching, you can see my skin stretches like everywhere. All the comments ask if it's everywhere. It is everywhere. My arm is just fun because you can see the tattoos move. But then all my tendons and ligaments are also really, really loose and elastic. And a normal person, they're supposed to be like tight, thick, springy. Mine don't do that. They just keep stretching. So all of my joints can dislocate on command and just go crazy. Yep.
Cool.
And then my internal tissues are also really loose and thin and elastic. So think like organ prolapses are really common. Artery dissection, mitral valve prolapse. So some organ and some like cardiovascular concerns in terms of like the tearing. So the skin tears as well. So if somebody else got like a bump or a bruise or something, for me, it's going to be a crater. So it's like a hole. The skin just bursts open. And then the edges of it don't have really any integrity. So I can't really get stitched up like normal because it just rips right through. So that is probably my day-to-day most immediate concern is, am I going to get hit by something and explode? But yeah, other than that, I manage it through strength training. So it's a little bit of a touchy topic within the connective tissue disease world. But we know for a fact that acutely strength training makes it worse. And then like long-term, chronically, it makes it a lot better.
Okay.
Like a lot better. So it's really hard. Like those first like 6, 8, 10 weeks, you're like, oh my God, my body is just, not only am I falling apart, but I'm also sore on top of it. I have inflammation from exercise. So it just kind of is like a perfect storm of feeling like, okay, this is not helping, it's hurting. But luckily, I guess I'm going to say luckily, I'm just going to keep it as luckily. I had like a horrible dislocation from my spine and my tailbone disconnected when I was 17. It was happened when I was 16, but then I got a full lumbar and sacroiliac joint fusion when I was 17. And my mom was like, when does she start physical therapy? And he was like, nah, he was kind of jacked himself. He was like, nah, like she needs to weight lift. And my mom kind of thought he was joking. And he was like, no, I'm for real. Like as soon as you can up and walk again, go to the gym, like lift weights. And I was like, everything, like squat, like deadlift, like the whole shebang? I said the whole shebang, which was so foreign to me because I was the kid who never even participated in gym class because I was like bubble wrap girl. I couldn't play any of the sports that we were doing in gym. I couldn't even do tech. I was so fragile. So we just like didn't do anything. I missed out on all the like sport competitive opportunities as a kid. So to hear someone like recommend that I go do heavy weightlifting, I was like, what the heck? But I stuck with it. I got really strong. This was from age 18 to like 21 that I was training really hard. I ended up doing a bodybuilding competition and I won the novice division at the state championship. And from there on, I was like, this shit's for everybody. Like the fact that I had weightlifting and being strong and being athletic on the list of things that I couldn't do just because I was born in a different type of body, I think is so ridiculous when it was so easy with accumulating the right knowledge and, knowledge to do it safely and do it the right way for me. I could just erase athletic and sport and strong off this list of things that was so long that I couldn't do. And I was like, yeah, that's my mission. Like I am going to fully take this word off of the list for any other disabled person, whether it be an intellectual disability, mental health, physical disability. If you have a barrier to fitness, knock it the freak down. This shit is for everybody. So that became just kind of my mission. I was a gymnast, like really short-winded gymnastics experience, which I loved. It was my only sport experience growing up. And I just remember like the competitive nature and the benefit of having a team and just something to look forward to each week, and personal performance goals. So when I got to college at U of M, I started an adaptive gymnastics program. I was the coach of it, and I coached a bunch of kids and teens with physical and intellectual disabilities gymnastics. And then we started doing like little mock meets and stuff and making routines, and it just like took off. So this was all happening simultaneously, me strength training, me bodybuilding, me starting the adaptive gymnastics program. And then it was like 2 years after I graduated, I saw the adaptive sports program had a hiring opportunity for the head strength and conditioning coach. And I was like, that's mine. That's so mine. I have to have it. I will knock everybody down. Like, get out of my way. And so a lot of people were applying for it. And there was the certification that they call like the MCAT, so like the hard med school exam, they call it the MCAT of kinesiology. It's the CSCS, and it's just like a really hard exam that it has about a 30% passing rate.
Yeah.
And it's like a kinesiology degree and applied exercise science all in this one big exam. And I didn't have it. I also didn't have a kinesiology degree, but I quit my job that I had to study for the exam, which they recommend studying for a year for. I asked, when do you want to hire? And they said 6 weeks. And so I scheduled my exam for 6 weeks out, quit my job to study full time, passed the exam, sent them my certification, and then they hired me the next day.
Damn.
That's wild.
So here I am. I
Wow.
locked in, as the kids say. I locked in
You
because
did.
I knew this was my dream job before I even knew where I'd be working and who I'd be working with and like the exact population I'd be working with or what the hours were. I was like, that's mine. I want it forever. So, and here I am, and I love it so much.
What job were you working at before this? Were you like at fucking Target or something?
No, it was just like it was a Crunch Fitness. It was like a general population gym. It was the
normies. It was the normies. It's fine. They're good people. There's good people on both sides.
There's good people on both sides, but you realize like I went from somebody coming in and being like, I want to lose 5 pounds by Friday. And then like someone who's like, yeah, you know, like I've got cerebral palsy and I really see myself being the best sprinter in the world with cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
That's just incomparable at that point. Like I look back on it, I'm like, wow, I hated my life, even though I didn't know it at the time.
Oh, damn. And that's what we're here for. Let's talk about the past.
You want one of those long naps you were talking about?
Oh,
not getting
where's
into that.
Prince Charming? He ain't coming. Like what?
Yeah.
So was there any time that you said, because in the series that we're watching, that we're not doing this clip, so I can bring it up here. Josie, which is one of the wheelchair basketball players, she actually was talking about how when she was growing up here in Minnesota, she got into a car accident and was in a wheelchair. She was also talking about how at that time she didn't have anybody that she could kind of connect with because everyone else was able-bodied, but she was in a wheelchair. But then once she went to like basketball practice, actually playing wheelchair basketball, that's when she actually started to see that she had connections and that she wasn't the only one around. So for you, at what age did you feel like, I feel like I'm different here, I feel like I'm different, but then in the future, like, where did you find your people at?
Yeah, so it's actually a lot more recent that I kind of had a feeling of I was home with my people and didn't feel super alone than I wish it was, right? So I think growing up, especially because I was most of the time ambulatory. Like I didn't use a wheelchair until I used one for like less than a year post surgery when I was like 17. So my entire life, I was trying to fit in an able-bodied box. Because I have scars like all over my legs. I never wanted my scars shown. I remember being like 11 or 12 and experimenting with like this type of makeup that was meant to cover scars like on my legs. And like in a picture, if like my knees were super hyperextended or like my skin somewhere like looked weird, like I would blur it out, or I like wouldn't let my friend post a picture, right? So it was even like the bodybuilding thing in college. Like I was trying to look like an able-bodied person by like, I'm going to be as like jacked and lean and like muscly as possible so that people don't even look at the other stuff. So it was so much time of trying to fit a box that I wasn't going to fit in. I never even used the word disabled to describe myself until a little bit before my job now, which was only 2 years ago. And so now I think like seeing that disability is the normal. Like we think about 15 to 20% of the population lives with a physical or an intellectual disability, which is a huge freaking chunk of the population. And like 1 in 3 people will experience disability at some point in their life, like whether it be as they get older or acquire disability or born with a disability. 1 in 3 people in their lifetime will be affected by disability. So I think like you hear those stats, but then you're like, okay, where are these disabled people then? Like most people don't have interactions with people with disabilities in their day-to-day life all the time. And so I think being in a place like University of Michigan, where not only are these people living with disabilities, but they're also like pursuing PhDs, grad degrees, dual major undergraduate degrees at one of the best universities in the world, playing elite sports. I'm like, oh my God, like the second you just open a door and allow for us to do freaking amazing things, like it is everywhere. So I just got so much more comfortable with like, you're actually not different at all. Like in my space at U of M, we're all normal, right? Like we create avenues in which we are all able to just be people, not people with disabilities. Like we're just able to be people. We're students and we're athletes and we're, having fun on podcasts, and, our athletes are going out and doing things just as any other college student does. So like the second that access is there, you realize that you're just one of everybody. You're just a drop in a sea of people that got different things.
Do you have friends now that are also folks with like different abilities?
Like,
And like you got a
most
community?
of my friends are people with disabilities now.
Okay, look at
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. But it's just like, but I don't even like see it that way. You know what
No,
I
I
mean?
know.
And I recognize that like, so one of my best friends has dwarfism, and like I recognize that like when I hang out with my homie, hi Sam, shout out Sam, I recognize that like when him and I are hanging out and we both like visually, like you're like, oh, like these people look a little different. But when we went to like this huge auto show in Detroit that was like the fancy, like rich people auto show, we got invites, whatever. And like people were like looking at us and stuff. And it was just weird to us because we spend so much time like with people who are just so many different walks of life. And we were just like reflecting on it after. We were like, this is weird to some people. And like, how sad is that you've like closed yourself off to, or you just like haven't had exposure to people who like look different than you. So I don't know. You just like hang out with people and you're like, oh, you're just a person. Like you're also like hilarious. And like sometimes you kind of suck and you got like raunchy humor, and like every disabled person's not freaking inspiring. Like some of us really suck. And we have like
I suck a
but
lot.
like we're all just people.
I suck all the time. Those are gay comments. So I'm sorry. Bruh, they weren't staring at you guys because they were, a smaller person. It was probably because it was an interracial couple. That's what it was. And, it's still.
If only Sam wasn't white, that would have been a really cool element to that.
It would have been.
Aren't you like 4 feet tall, Abby? Like, what are you talking about?
How tall is Abby?
I'm 4'11", so I feel like.
Look at you! You're so cute.
Maybe it was just like, oh, like cute couple. Like they found their like each other's like height match or whatever. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, just put you on a shelf. All right. Anywho.
I'm elf on a shelf. I'm available for purchase during the month.
Girl, don't. I guess we can promote that if you want to.
Hey,
I don't know,
you know, hey.
my comments already get me like I'm so uncomfortable. I've borderline like thought of restraining orders against some of the
I
people that
believe
are
it.
regular commenters.
The internet is
Fair
very
enough.
pervy. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, there's a fetish for everything, and apparently a lot of people liked Mrs. Incredible from the Incredibles movie.
Hey.
Yeah, girl.
Hey.
She's thick as hell.
Hey. Hey. That's all I
Like,
gotta
yeah,
say.
those people are crazy. Like, why would they think?
Who are you talking about, girl?
I know. Wait. Hold on a minute. Let's not make Elastigirl like she ain't fine as shit. All right,
Fine as shit.
fine as hell.
And she's a
I
good
wanted
mom.
Elastigirl Halloween like 5 years straight on original, but like
See,
Girl, I'm just saying.
you.
We're all looking for that strong mommy to be in our lives. That strong muscle mommy. We're all looking for it, you know.
that's fair.
Mhm.
It's when the stretchy component, I'm like, I'm uncomfortable. Like,
Like, yeah, stretch the skin. You're like, no. What?
girl, your disability fine as hell. I'm like,
Wait a minute. She was stretchy in the movie? I forgot about that.
Yeah, she was
her.
Elastigirl.
Yeah, I don't remember all the nerdy shit.
You should.
I can't keep track of all the white women in cartoons.
I do.
I know.
I got you.
Oh my gosh.
we find out that Spencer has made multiple accounts to be
Look.
a commenter. That's like,
Look,
yeah.
I'm not denying.
He's been commenting on your shit for a while.
Hey, let's do this.
This is the one account that you finally responded to was the podcast.
I know.
account.
I know. The one time I don't get freaky. Anywho,
Yeah. Pause real quick. How do we end up doing this, Spence? You just randomly slid to DM? Was it a comment? Was it an email? Did you call the university? Like, that was good.
no.
You
I
can
think,
DM.
yeah, I did because I think I saw some of your posts and I was like, she seems like she'd be cool to have on. Especially when we're talking about, we unfortunately we haven't had any like para athletes on the show. I've reached out.
We've tried.
Don't respond. And so it's like, you know, for me, especially after watching this series, I was like, I want to fucking get all of them on. That'd be dope.
I can get you a couple of athletes who be
Hey, yeah. I mean, we are definitely open to it. That's the thing. Like, we've had able-bodied athletes and things like that. And I feel like, especially just athletes in general, just the mentality that you go through on a daily basis, especially waiting like 4 years to just, you know, to finally be part of something. And that's why I like this series so much, is because it's like the anticipation, right? You're trying to you want to get to this level, but you have to wait so long. And sometimes with that wait, you might lose interest. You might have other things come up and stuff like that.
even like there are things happen in the able-bodied side of things and the para side of things.
Yeah.
It's
The
every
crossover. The crossover with autism is pretty high too, with a lot of folks that with disabilities. And like even Ehlers-Danlos is a high intersection right in our population.
Yeah, one of the types has a high intersection with autism and ADHD.
Mhm.
So
Yep. So that's why I was like excited to have you on.
Yeah. And that's why I reached out and I was like, hey, come on. And then you were just like, let's do it. So it was even better because you were so excited.
I think she forgot about us for a while though, right? And then you had to
I
remind
did.
her.
I'm so honest. I was currently like I was actively founding the para powerlifting program, which we already had our budgeting figured out for the other sports. So I was trying to like take money from the other sports. Not like I was trying to like work out with the other coaches, like, hey, can I get a little, can you sauce me a little? So it was a lot. So I was like self-funding the para powerlifting program a little bit with help of the university, of course, but like the money was already allocated. So I was drowning for a second.
It's fine. But I know Spencer was like, hey.
Hey, by the way, you remember this?
Are you still stretchy? Are you still interested?
Did not say that.
I mean, hey.
You didn't say that.
That was my other account. Sorry.
Oh my God. Let's get more into some interview questions.
Oh, sorry. Yes. I actually have notes.
There you go.
So in another podcast called, I think it was called Coach Me Up podcast.
Coach 'em up, yeah.
Yes. Coach 'em up. And you talked about this thing called inspiration porn. right?
Oh,
That
no, porn, you know,
that
I
adaptive
watch it, you know,
ath-
that made me feel good.
As soon as I said the word porn, it was over. You brought this up as a subject, and kind of like a little bit got you like a little bit of trouble, but I would love for you to kind of go through like what is this thing that is inspiration porn, and how does it affect really people who are athletes that are like para athletes?
Yeah. So it's not that I got in trouble for this, because I think
No,
largely like
no.
the para athletes largely feel generally the same about this. So I'm not going to speak for every disabled person. I think I have encountered, like, I've gotten comments from people with disabilities who are like, I actually don't mind being called inspirational. It's like, okay, that's cool. But I think outside of like the individual preferences for that, if we're looking at like a large scope of what we want for disability, and down the road, what we want is for people with disabilities to have the access that they need, so that it wouldn't even come across your mind to be like, oh, I pity them, right? So when you see somebody, opening a door, or just like sitting in a restaurant or whatever, and they're like a wheelchair user, or they're using a mobility aid, or maybe they're on the autism spectrum and they're wearing like sensory headphones or whatever the frick it is, and you're like, oh my God, I'm so inspired. I think the problem there, and for some people with disabilities, going to a restaurant or, doing your laundry or opening a door might be a big deal.
Tough.
That's cool. That's fine. Good job. Like, hell yeah, there's space for that to be an accomplishment for you. And the people that know you will know that that's a big accomplishment. But I think to assume at a baseline that anybody who is disabled, they struggled to open a door, they struggled to do their laundry, they struggled to get out of the house, I think that says something harmful. And I think what it says is that when I see disabled people, I don't expect much. And I think the reason that's harmful is because outside of kind of the access barriers that exist, because I think in saying that, you're saying, wow, it's probably harder to live with a disability. And in many ways it is harder. So I think that's their way of recognizing that and saying like, oh, I recognize that life is probably more difficult for you. But when that becomes personal, where it's like, oh, wow, it's just sensational. It's crazy that you got an A on a project, or like you want to go to college, or it's crazy that you go to the gym. It's like, okay, well, now we're kind of getting like personal. It's like, you don't even know that person. You have no idea if they could be like a CEO or a professor or a high level athlete. And like, so Chuck Aoki, I always use him as an example because he uses a wheelchair, and he's used one since he was really young, and he's a 4-time Paralympian. He's one of the best Paralympians of all time. And he gets high fives all the time when he's in the grocery store. And for him, it's just like, if you knew me, you would be inspired by me. Like, if you knew what I did, there are so many things that I do and so many kind of things that I live by that would inspire you. The fact that I'm here at the grocery store, if you knew me, you would never say that that's inspiring. So it's like, freaking get to know somebody before you tell them that something is inspiring. Like, we don't walk up to random people that don't have disabilities and be like, I'm so happy you're here. Good job getting out of the house. They might be going through a severe mental health struggle at the moment. And it was a huge deal to leave the house, but we don't go up to people that we can't see their disabilities and say, good job for leaving the house. So I think as like a blanket statement, it's like, know somebody before you're inspired by them. And that's to say, get to know them, right? Like, maybe form a relationship with somebody who has a physical or mental or intellectual disability before making statements like that. So it's like, go learn about people before you decide that what they're doing is like so insane. On my Instagram, I said, it's like, if you use the dumb blonde stereotype and you went up to somebody who's blonde, who's like adding up their bill at a grocery store, and you're like, oh my God, like, good job. It's like, it's weird. It's using a stereotype. It's using a visual stereotype.
Yeah.
And saying something to somebody that you think is like, I don't know, helping them in some way, or you think it's a high five, you think it's a kudos, and it was actually like a fuck you. Like, oh, I didn't expect much of you, you disabled piece of shit. Like,
God damn.
He's disabled,
it's
bitch.
weird in a lot of contexts. So I think where people got like angry, it was only able-bodied people
who
got kind of upset about it in the comments. it was like, oh, like I mean it well, and like that's just you can't please any of you. You like there's no pleasing anybody. Like, and it's just like, well, we're telling you how to please us. We're telling you, get to know us, watch our athletic highlights, watch our season highlights.
Hell yeah.
You know, ask me, you know, what do you study? Like, know me. Like I'm telling you to just like get to know me, and I probably will inspire you for something else. I'm telling you what would be a good way to do it, and you're like, no, I can't please you. It's like, just listen to us. Like we're like largely the disabled community, not to speak for everybody, thinks this way. So it's like, just listen up. Like, this is a very normal thing. Disability is very normal. So I don't want it to be sensational that we're playing sports. I don't want it to be sensational that we're getting degrees. I don't want it to be sensational that people are writing books or, you know, are excelling wherever. It shouldn't be sensational. I want it to be the normal.
Normalized.
We all want it to be the normal.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Me and Spence advocate for the same shit for autism, ADHD, anxiety, depression, suicidality. Really tried to destigmatize suicidality and very intrusive, obsessive thoughts. Like, you can live like this and get a degree? You can be happy? Yes.
Totally. You
Yes.
should. The more we see it, the more
Yes.
representation that there is, the more that it's like, okay, I can manage whatever card I was dealt. I'll deal with it and I'll go do awesome things, because everybody is dealing with something. So some of them you can see, most of them you can't.
Wow.
So the assumptions are tough.
Do you walk around like, I don't know how to say this. Do you look disabled, or are you like able passing? Like how you look?
Ever since strength training, I'm like pretty able body passing. I mean, I know you've like seen my Instagram videos and stuff. So like spine wise, I'm pretty crooked. Like you can, if you look at me for long enough, you're like, something's off there, like spine wise. And then if you see my hands and my like joint points, they're very wrinkly. Like there's a lot of extra skin on them.
Yeah, okay.
And then my knees, I have to be very much thinking about it for my knees not to hyperextend almost about a 45 degree when I'm walking. So like there's definitely some things that if you were looking at me for too long, you'd be like, okay, something's different. I think generally I'm pretty AB passing.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Okay.
Which is like kind of gives me I talked about this in my interview for my job. I was like, there are days where I do not pass and there are days that I do, and the treatment that I get even from my own circle is different on the days that I'm like AB passing and the days that I'm not. So like I go to the gym across the street, and I have a surgery coming up in like 2 weeks that I'm gonna use my chair for. And I know that like all of them who have been seeing me work out in there for 2 years, and then in a couple weeks I'm gonna be working out in my wheelchair. I know that it's about to be weird. Like none of them are gonna like talk to me anymore. They're gonna be like, what happened? Oh my God. Even though I'm doing like the same workouts, I just like don't have my foot on the ground. So I don't know. So I'm like, I'm gonna see like on the 21st, I'm gonna go to the gym standing. On the 22nd, I'm gonna go to the gym in a wheelchair, and I'm gonna get a completely different experience, which I think is so fucked up.
Yeah.
But yeah.
They're just gonna be like, you can't even do the wheelchair shit. They're like, welcome to the club, rookie. Like fucking.
Or like they'll ask me to try it. They're like, oh, like, can I try to do that exercise in your wheelchair? I'm like,
Do they just pick you up because you're so small?
Probably.
Like,
yeah. And then they jack your wheelchair. That'd be fucked up. You jack someone's wheelchair. I can see your best friend doing that, but not a rando at the gym.
Oh, that happens all the time. We just filmed a video with some of the athletes. We did a Never Have I Ever Disabled edition. Don't take my idea until we post it. Okay.
Oh.
We don't. Sorry,
anyway,
we ain't white. Well, Spencer a little white. We not a part of that section of ethnicities that steal shit and appropriate it. Okay.
No, hey, wait a minute. That was our idea.
Yeah.
Oh, look at me. I've never done it. Actually, I think one time in high school I had a
blackface.
No, I had chopsticks.
Jesus.
That blackface.
Honest with you.
Let's find this video.
Let's find it. I found it. Oh my God. What were we just talking about? The wheelchair.
Oh,
wheelchairs.
Never Have I Ever Disabled edition. And one of the ones that I put in the list was never have I ever had someone ask me to try my mobility device. And I was shocked. All the athletes behind me were like,
Damn.
I was like, no way. Like, that's crazy. Yo, can I try your power chair?
While they're just laying on
Gotta
the
see what all the
floor.
fuss is about, you know? Like, see what's happening.
I feel like I'd be so good at that. I'm really good at DBA.
Like,
Like,
look at this.
This is
yeah.
fucked up.
Chameleonaires riding. They see me rolling.
The hottest toy of 2025 Christmas power chair.
I need to get my dad one of
Hoverboard.
them.
What was it? Ripstick.
Oh yeah, ripstick. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
I think I ever had a ripstick. Yeah. Anywho, so you did so for a while. You had to do some DIY, right? Because, just some of the funding wasn't there and stuff like that. No shot to University of Michigan. They do a great job, but at the same time, you've spoken about this. Like, there's more to do, and that's everywhere. It's not just at the University of Michigan, it's everywhere. But you had to do you had to create these special benches, right? For some of your athletes, because there's certain benches, especially when you're doing lifting, that you need to do. And so you created your own benches. And so what about your job? Really, you have to have that ingenuity, not only ingenuity, but you have to problem solve all the time. Do you like doing this? Is this something that you like doing, but you have to do it also? Or is it something like, okay, as soon as I get in this position, like, I had no idea I had to do this much, like, kind of problem solving throughout my career? Like, how did that go?
I like this question because I was asked by Dr. O, who is, if you don't know him, he is my boss's boss's boss, but he founded our adaptive sports program. It was his vision. He himself acquired a spinal cord injury when he was in college. Now he has, the entire alphabet next to his name in doctorates and MDs and all the things. But he is really what has made this happen. And any push for, the university to back us has been largely from him, just talking to the right people and saying the right things and getting that support for us. So that's a shout out Dr. O. But he asked me one time, he said, if like USA Gymnastics called and they were like, we need a strength and conditioning coach, is that your dream job also? And I said, no. And I think the reason for that is having a blueprint, especially when you're a little neurodivergent, a little something going on there, just with like creativity and focus and things that inspire you to do the work that you do. That type of work for me never has a blueprint. If there is a blueprint involved, I don't like it. So if I have to do the same thing every day and I have to follow the way that somebody else has done it and how it's been done for a long time, I will usually lose interest in it, like a year or less in terms of work and like my studies. I can't stay engaged with it if there's not blueprinting that I'm doing. So I think with this position specifically, I mean, in the title is adaptive, right? Like everything that we have to do to each athlete, to each set of equipment, to funding barriers that we have, to equipment barriers that we have, none of this has been done before, which is so cool. I am the person that finds the problem and has to be the person to figure out how to fix it, which I really like. Would it be cool if like the funding was there, the backing was there for us to just be like, hey, we have this problem, and someone was like, okay, cool, we'll send you $10,000 and you can buy this thing to fix it? Like, yeah, that's cool. That's what we're going for eventually, right? Like we hope to have the same type of funding and backing as athletics does, but we're just not there yet as parasport as a whole, not just U of M, but like parasport period. So in the meantime, it's fun to problem solve. It really, really is. So for the wheelchair accessible bench, for example, there's one company that makes a certified wheelchair accessible bench. It's Eleiko, which is like top of the top gold standard gym equipment, and it's like anywhere between $5,500 and $7,000 depending on like what stuff you get with it, and that's like not including the weights. It's just the bench setup. And we weren't there as a program. We called ourselves Team Zero last year, so we hadn't even really like proved that we deserve funding. We weren't even like a fully established team yet until this year. And so, but nonetheless, like we had to have a bench where you could strap your legs down. we had athletes that were going to be the top of the top at nationals this summer, and they hadn't even been on a real bench yet. So my boss was like, hey, we can't buy it. We either got to make it or we got to keep doing with what we were doing, which is putting our legs on top of the wheelchair, which is like core wise, like the benches are so skinny.
Yeah.
So anybody with like core deficits, they were going to be really unstable on there. So I was like, you know what? Let's do it. I am probably like the last demographic that has success in Home Depot. Okay. Like if there's a totem pole of who is getting lost and probably going to cry in Home Depot, I am there.
Yeah.
I am.
There shouldn't be women in Home Depot, period.
Oh,
Period.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Good point.
To be fair, you shouldn't even be in the weight room. You should be at home cooking.
I know. 2025. It's just crazy. We're just gone too far.
Put that barbell down and get a pan.
Ma'am, you have to have oven mitts and an apron on.
Bitch, who taught you to read?
Oh my God. Ma'am, can I help you find what you're looking? Can I help you read this? But anyways, yeah, no, I was just going back and forth from Home Depot, and I had this person who had made a bench before like send me what they did, and it was just like a paragraph typed up of like, and then I did this, and then I did this, and it wasn't like steps or like anything. I was like, like I was like, I had no idea what I was reading. I like don't build anything. I can't even like put together an IKEA set that has like two screws and everything else is like fine. But anyways, I ended up making the bench, and in a really, like, I mean this with all love to my athletes. If my athletes are listening to this, like, love ya. I mean this. It was such a good thing. When I had like the bench reveal after I was like blood, sweat, and tears for 2 weeks putting this thing together and like figuring it out, and I was like thinking in my head, I'm like, oh my God, like this was so awesome. It was like a little expensive. It was really hard, and I'm gonna have this reveal, and they're gonna be like, oh my God, it's beautiful. And then their first practice, they were like, oh, sick. And I was like, you know what? Honestly, yeah, like you should expect better. You should expect to come in here, and if I've got a surprise for you, it's the real freaking gold standard deal. So I'm glad your standards are high, but they came and they were like, nice. I was like, oh, that is nice.
No, I would have went full training day. I'm putting hits on all you bitches. If it
you better
wasn't
clap
me,
for me.
Yeah.
Clap for me right now.
Right now. Are you not entertained? Girl, it's fine. You get what it feels like to be a parent now. You fucking ungrateful bastards.
You like think, you make Christmas magic. You like do little footprints of white snow throughout your house, and then they're like, I already have this. It was literally, it felt like that. It really did. But we did, since then, we did get an Aleco Powerlifting bench, and it is beautiful.
Where's the other bench at? Did you donate it, or is it still there?
We kept it. You
gotta keep it.
It's our warm-up bench now.
There you go.
But I get reminded, like, every time somebody warms up on that, they're like, this one's too squishy. I'm like, whatever.
This is where you put all the freshmen that are training. You go on that one. The upperclassmen get the good one.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You have to break a national record before you're allowed on.
You get a PR. You get a PR. We'll get you on the good bench. You fucker. You gotta treat them like the other athletes, kid. You're right. We're all the same. You gotta make them miserable.
I think even if you get all new benches, you gotta just keep that one, because there's just too much sweat and blood and tears in that one. You just gotta keep it, just for nostalgia.
Yeah, relic.
See, this is all I wanted here. Just acknowledging that it was blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah. Girl, you did a thing. You know how hard it is to build some shit? This shit is crazy.
I can barely build Legos. Me too.
Bro, the crash out from Legos. I have cried building Legos. Cried.
I built a Millennium Falcon. Good Lord.
Oh, wait, did you get one of the ones that's like pretty intense?
It's the big one. This was when I was way younger. I was like 15 or something, and I got it for like Christmas, and it was huge. But I had to return it because it was missing a fucking piece that was nowhere. So I had to return it, and I was so fucking pissed because I built this motherfucker and I had to put it back in the bags. But anywho,
and then you had to do it again. I had a weird Lego obsession. I never did the ones again. Like if it had directions, I didn't want it. I wanted to be an interior designer for a moment in like 2008, and I used to make neighborhoods, and I would make like a little cul-de-sac of like 6 Lego houses, and they would each have like a different what's it called? Like
Disability.
yes. One of the homes would have an amputation, and then I would make them all like different vibes. So I would do like a modern Renaissance home, and then I
Okay.
would do
Oh.
like traditional like white picket fence like colonial home, and then so I made a neighborhood of different styles of home decor out of
Nice.
Legos.
That's pretty interesting. That's a little.
We got something to tell you.
We got.
If you were my therapist right now, I would start crying because I can already tell that you're like, that's weird.
No, it's not.
No,
weird.
not weird.
No,
Not
it
weird.
just- you might.
What
be,
is it then? What is it?
There's
These are
something
signs.
interesting about you.
Yes. You're a little spicy.
I might be. What's it to you?
It's fine. It's fine. I really want to ask.
It's a good thing.
What were the ethnicities of those Lego people? Because I don't trust you.
Oh my gosh, I did that too. So like wait. I'm so serious though.
You're fine,
Like
go ahead.
I like made the Lego people like they had to look like they could be family. Or else I
Oh,
wouldn't put them in the homes.
like when you were making like the wheelchair ones, it couldn't move because it was all square.
I didn't have wheelchair Legos.
She had to DIY those.
Yeah.
You have to fully you have to pick up the wheelchair people and
Like, here you go. Like, don't touch
push
me.
them into
Oh,
another
Jesus.
section of it. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. But and then I would make little like family like trauma things for them. So that, like one would be like it was a single dad with like a teen daughter and they were
Hell
like
yeah.
not getting along.
Yep.
They always lived in the modern home. I don't know why. But
Yeah,
like
good
all
job.
the families had little
White.
Yep. Engineer.
Good job. Never got pulled over once.
Alcoholic.
Jesus.
Jack had too many stories. It's 11 years of stories. There's some good single dads doing
Are
some
you
really
guys
good shit.
old?
I'm 31.
35?
Going
Okay.
strong.
Oh, okay. All right.
No. How old are you?
Wait,
you
yeah, wait, you
fucking
want to ask him
5 years
ageism?
old?
Fucking.
What are you going to say?
How old do you
ageist?
think I am?
How old do we think you are? I'm not getting
I know,
into
I
this. No
I'm going
comment.
to say,
I look like a
20
baby.
I want to say 26.
Oh, I'm not playing this game.
Why?
I turned 26 in 2 months.
I see it.
Yeah. People with my condition though tend to have like really like full cheeks and like little baby faces. And then we're also pretty much always have short stature too.
Hey.
I wouldn't have known. Oh, also, there was a pose that you did a second ago that was sick as fuck. You were doing like a lean before Spencer
I
started
was
asking you a
putting my-
question. No, it wasn't that one. Not the muscle mommy one.
I think her back hurt.
No, it was from
Yeah,
carrying
probably.
this podcast. But she had one of these like leans and shit. I'm gonna crop it because that shit was like perfect. The sass and the swag and the
Was it when
confidence
I
in
did
that
this?
post. No. Spencer was asking a question, and then you were just sitting there listening, and it was like, yes, it was something like that, but with more
Yeah.
confidence. And I'm like, that's a bad bitch.
There's not a lot of confidence in that last one, just so you know.
Yes.
Start crying into it.
So, hey, all crying's okay on this pod.
Yeah.
I love
Oh,
bruh.
we'll get you there.
Wait, ask me something that makes me cry.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I
my
could
brain
do I could do
instantly-
that. I could do it. I think
No.
so. I think I can. I think
We
I can
probably
do it.
could. We don't need to.
We will.
Do you have any more? This is a great interview so far. Any more questions, Spence, before we get into
Oh
the
yeah,
scenes?
I
Go
have
ahead.
plenty of questions. So for you, you're not just working, and this is for like coaches, trainers in general. Like you're not just working your athletes to get them to the pinnacle of their physical strength and stuff like that. You're also helping them through the low and the high times of their mental state as well, right? And so is there a component that you feel that you really implement when you're with your athletes that are just going through like really, really hard times? Is there anything that you feel like you need to say, or do you kind of leave that for like the therapists or anything like that at the university? What do you try to do as a coach during like those low moments with your athletes?
Yeah. So we are lucky enough, so we actually have a sports psychologist for our program, specifically for Adaptive Sports. So Dr. Mike, if you're listening, he is wonderful. So he does like optional sessions every Friday that covers like a different sports psychology topic or just general mental health topic. So love him. I won't pretend to like I know his job. But with me being the closest person on our staff in age to our athletes, I end up being kind of like the dumping spot of most of our athletes. Like the first person that they're going to feel comfortable with is somebody who they feel is like similar to them, like very close in age to them, or has gone through like similar things. I was a student at U of M, and I'm the closest in age to them. So it ends up being like, I think they end up feeling comfortable with me before some other coaches. And not to say that, you know, that doesn't eventually happen and all of our coaches are friggin' awesome, but the age thing is helpful and the student thing is helpful. So what ends up happening a lot is I'll get the questions not necessarily, or like the talks that are not necessarily about sport, but just about life and like being a student. And I've even had, so I do office hours twice a week for athletes to just come and talk to me about whatever they want. And so like I'll even get some that come and like are like, yeah, like I met this girl and she's really pretty and like we're talking a lot, but like with my athletic schedule, like things, you know, I'll just like get those kinds of questions and I love them. But my mantra, and this has truly just like changed the way that I kind of move in my life, is as far as we know, we get one shot to be on this planet and perceive the world with consciousness and be autonomous creatures. We get one shot to do that as far as we know. So with that, I think within reason, it is important to do what you want to do when you want to do it, how you want to do it, as long as it doesn't harm anybody else's opportunity to be able to do that for themselves as well. And so when I get athletes, you know, ask me, I don't know, like I just like I have been feeling disconnected from my sport lately and I don't really like my major right now and I'm just feeling like X, Y, or Z. I'm like, you know, go talk to a professional. Here are like mental health resources and here is our sports psychologist. But from my perspective, if you don't like your major, change it. If you don't want to be an athlete anymore, don't be. If you want to move back home and take 2 gap years and reevaluate if you want to go to school at all, do it. Do it. And they're like, oh, but my parents. I'm like, well, they love you. They'll want you to experience your life in a way that makes you happy and honors what you want to do and who you want to be. Oh, but my friends and my coach is going to be disappointed. And I'm like, I try it. That's my like one thing. Anytime someone comes to me, I'm like, do you want that? Do you want it right now? Do it. So we're like totally autonomous creatures. We forget that. You know, like so many people move in a way that is to impress somebody else or please somebody else, and I'm guilty of that as well. But the second you can find a good balance of like, I am behaving in a way that makes me feel like me and not just to make other people happy, things feel a lot easier. Decisions feel a lot easier.
How's it feel to know that you have an impact on all these little babies that are coming to you, seeking knowledge, affirmation, validation, kinship, community?
It feels like I'm going to be actually their friend very soon. Like once they graduate, that is somebody that I want to go out for dinner with and just catch up for 4 hours. And the restaurant's closing up and we're the last ones there because we're just chatting about life and everything. It feels like I truly know so many people when this avenue is not a traditional way of meeting people and learning so much about them, but it is unique. Being a coach is so unique. Being a coach that's close in age to your athletes is so unique, to where like I am going to come away from this job, if I come away from this job, and have such a huge community of people that I feel like I truly know and they truly know me.
How does it feel to know that it's your humanity which they're stuck to, and your goodness and kindness and loveliness? Nothing to do with your resume or your coaching, blah, blah, blah. It's like your humanness.
That's tough in a place like U of M because everything is about what you know and what you've done and what your resume is. And I still have imposter syndrome, like pretty bad when it comes to the background, because how much experience am I going to have at 25 years old? How many years of training and how many, you know, research papers about parasport have I had the opportunity to be on? Very few. Like I'm not the most experienced and perhaps not the most knowledgeable person in this field, even though I'm one of few. But like when I'm working with the athletic directors on like the able-bodied side of things, I feel like I'm like, oh my God, like I have so much more to go. But then just the other day, I had a moment where I was with Chuck Aoki's strength and conditioning coach, who's the Paralympic S&C coach. And he called me and he was asking a question about Chuck's performance and whatever. And I said, you know what? Like we were making a decision about something and I was like, I want to yield to your expertise. And he was like, my expertise, your expertise. And I was like, what? And he was like, we literally use your Instagram posts about ableism in training and an athlete focus versus a disability focus. We use that in our lecture in my master's program at Alabama. And I was like, what? It's like, yeah, we had to make a discussion post about one of your posts about ableism in training. And I just had this moment where I was like, okay, something you're doing is right. Something that you're doing is people are seeing and being like, okay, this girl knows what's up in terms of elevating parasport and elevating athletes in this space. And I was like, okay, well, like lots of people know what I know and have the certifications that I have and, you know, can find information through research and have done the same classes, done the same studies. There's something extra here. I'm like, maybe you just like, you get it. You're just making really good relationships with athletes, and not because they're athletes, because they're humans. Like you see them as people and doers and performers. And I was like, okay, all right. You need to check yourself sometimes when you're feeling like there could be so many other people in your position that would do better than you, because there's something here that's special that other people are trying to emulate. So I gotta reel it in. U of M is a scary place to be anything other than an egghead. So,
and I wasn't talking about faculty and staff. I'm talking about the kids and the content you're creating and your ability and your swag and using some of your privileges, which allow you to stick out more on Instagram and in using it to connect with people and to educate and to inspire some folks, whether they're able or disabled. And then inevitably what you're causing is people to not kill themselves, because many of those kids will be suicidal because of the things that they cannot do and grief. So what you're doing is have a massive impact and saving a fuck ton of lives while also helping out your direct population. So you make my job easier. I'm trying to get you in some decent moments. And if you sit and think with it, you probably would cry. But you're deflecting on other things, which is interesting. But we'll get into that a different day. I'll send you my card. Because these questions should be answered in a different way. So your humanity is the thing that is saving lives. Your ability to talk and connect and engage, your tenacity and grind, and also your previous traumas had led you to this point to just simply just be you and save lives. That's the coolest fucking thing on earth that you can do. You're just you. And it happens to make people want to like win. Kind of cool when you think about it.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
Yeah. Okay, well, if I really sit in it and I go a couple layers in, I think I've always had a fear that this humanity, we'll call it, the relationships that I make with athletes and this energy that I'm aware that I exude, like I'm very bubbly. I feel as though I've done work with so many people that I feel charismatic. You know, when your body doesn't work quite right, you develop your brain to kind of elevate you in other places to be able to connect and make relationships that wouldn't otherwise be made if you were just an able-bodied person who got all those same opportunities. So to make the same amount of connections, you really have to elevate who you are. But I have definitely, even though this has been the way that I feel so me, and I've felt so me for the last, 5-6 years, really since like high school, I've always like had this in the back of my head. I'm like, is this performative? I like ask myself that. I'm like, is who you are performative? Are you bubbly and charismatic and care about these athletes and love the work that you do because you want to look like you do? And I asked myself that probably for the first time in college, like, because all the volunteering that I did and stuff, I'm like, what are you doing this for? Because I didn't have a resume. I'm not going to med school. Like I wasn't doing anything. I was like, wasn't trying to build a resume. So I kept just being like, why do you do this? Like, are you doing this to like look like a really good person? I went to therapy about it and I brought the same thing up. And she was like, does there have to be a reason you do it? Like, could you just like it? Could this just be you? Could this just be what makes you happy and what is a good fit for your life? Like, why are you searching for a reason? I'm like, well, there's a reason that everybody does everything. Like, you have to be incentivized. You have to be incentivized to behave like X, Y, or Z. She's like, what if you're just not? Like, there is the incentive is that you feel like you feel like you belong because you're not, putting up a front. You're not being somebody else. This is you. The incentive is that you feel like this is the place that you belong. So yeah, that's a deeper answer on that. I think trying to search for a reason that you're doing something good, except some people are just like doing good for goodness sake because it just feels good. It's just
if it was a facade, then you would have been tired and burned out by now.
Right. But I wake up every day and my partner actually said, he said his favorite thing about me is that I am the same person in every environment that I'm in. And it's like, you don't get tired. And he said, like, if I was like that had to be like that in all of my settings, I'd be exhausted. And I'm not tired. I get great sleep.
Which means, well, it's because you're so tired. Just dreaming about those Legos.
You got me.
All the people. Yeah, no, man, you're doing good shit, homie. You're doing good shit. And I don't think you're masking. I think you're just doing shit to get experiences, to gain. And like now you're able to use like all this stuff. And you're doing a thing and you're throwing shit at the wall. You're seeing what sticks. And then a bunch of the stuff is sticking. And so we'll just keep throwing shit at the wall.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens in the next 10, 20 years. And hopefully you had a good impact on folks. And hopefully you sit in it and you think about it. Because I don't feel like you do based on the conversation that we've had. And you really get to give yourself some like awesome kindness and gratitude about the cool shit that you're doing and the human that you became when you probably should have just been a little paralyzed fuck in that bed, which people thought that's what you were always going to be.
Coulda, shoulda.
But you decided to be like, fuck this, you stubborn fuck.
Well, going back to the inspiration question, right? I remember somebody commented and they were like, well, then why is all you do post about your job and the fact that you're disabled and have this job? And I'm like, I am inspirational, you fuck. Like, that is what I'm doing. Like, you missed the point. Like, if I wasn't doing shit, if I was just like the shitty person who like was mean to everybody when I was using my wheelchair, when I was like 16, 17, I was an absolute brat. That wasn't inspirational
Still
at all.
A brat.
Now what I'm doing is I'm trying to inspire. Thank you so much. But I'll let my mom know you said that.
You're definitely a brat. Let's be real. She's like, I'm not doing any of this stuff if it can't be my way. So I'll never join Team USA. You fuckers, go Russia. What?
Yeah. Vodka. Yeah. Vodka.
Stuttgart. We're done. We're getting fired. Do you know? I was trying to think of the bad guy, the homeboy's name from Thunderbolts. What is his name?
Oh, fucking Red Guardian.
The Red Guardian. All right, we pivoted. You were saying something, Abby. I'm so sorry. I don't know.
No, I just
You're inspiring and shit. Fuck you.
I hope that what I'm doing actually is inspiring, right? So like I say all the shit about like, don't call me inspiring. Don't call me inspiring for opening a door when I'm using wheelchair. Don't call me inspiring for just going to the gym. But if you knew me and you knew what I did,
kind of
you
inspiring.
would be like, yeah, I'm inspired. Cool. I want to create access to sport for disabled people in my community. Like, inspired to do what is a great question. When someone says like, oh, that's so inspiring. What inspired to do what? What are you going to do different?
I would surround you with all of my little girlies, my clients, and I'd be like, here you go. Just go learn to lift. And they'd be like, yep, because you would fit right in with my women's group. Right in. They would eat you up. It would be fantastic. And then you'd be like, lift. I don't want to.
Then we do it. And then after I had an athlete, my first ever athlete with my condition. She was a cutie. She had the hypermobile type, which is the one associated with autism and ADHD. But she started coming to strength and conditioning and she was like, yeah, my physical therapist, like, she said this might be a good idea. So I'm just going to try it. And she was like, I can only come once a week. She said more than once a week is like not going to be good for me. And I was like, yeah, come too. So she was like, no, she started coming 1 and then she started coming 2. And then one time her physical therapist like told her to tell me that it was like 8 weeks after she started that they're going to go to every other week now because there's just like not the need. Like she's just working.
Oh, nice.
So that was super cool. But tell your girlies, your hypermobile girlies, it doesn't feel good at first. Like it does feel like you got injured at first.
Okay.
But I've worked with so many people with hypermobile EDS at this point, like so many who just were like, I need to sign up for something so that I get over that hump of like everything falling apart safely. Like I need to do it with somebody holding my hand and telling me, okay, it's supposed to feel like that. Like it's gonna feel not good.
Yeah.
So
when do you start injecting testosterone into them? When do you do that?
Right, good. I actually do human growth hormone is my preferred
supplements, as we call them on the pod.
Right here.
Yeah. Can I get an injection of supplements, please? Thank you. Thank you.
Do you just pull your skin and inject it into the skin, or do you put it in the muscle?
It depends. I think when I pull the skin, sometimes I'll have the issue where it goes through the front and the back.
It just squirts out. Brother.
And my $1,000 human growth hormones all over the floor.
I made this buttered Cajun sauce or whatever with the turkey, and I had to buy an injector or whatever so I can inject it into the turkey.
A baster?
No, not a baster. Like it's a needle that you put into the meat. It's a syringe. And so I've seen it on the internet and I was like, I got to do this. It's just butter and seasoning. And so I'm putting it in there.
It's like syringe to me.
And you got to put it in deep enough because this big ass needle has all these holes in the side of the needle and not directly at the bottom of the needle. And I didn't really fully pay attention. I thought I got it fully into the turkey. I pushed that shit, shot straight everywhere. My dad was so pissed. There's just butter all over the fucking place.
No, my GMOs.
No.
Brother, I injected the fuck out of that turkey. All right.
Oh, God.
Not a perfect way.
Blah. Anywho, FBI, watch out for that.
You know what I'm actually going to lose followers from saying that I am in a relationship on this podcast. I posted
I'm uninterested now.
That
Pause. That was fucking funny. I'm not gonna lie, part of me died.
Let's end this.
Okay,
bye.
I looked at my graph of unfollows and it's just like, and then the day that he was just featured in one of my things, he was like sharp. Like I have a screenshot of it because it's like just like a cone, just like sharp.
That's wild.
I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Those are the guys with no confidence because
Irvin.
A confident man would be like,
you're gonna stay following me, Spencer, right?
We'll see.
Hey, relationships aren't forever, okay?
There's gonna be a lot more meaner comments all of a sudden.
I'm keeping this in the pod. I'm keeping this in the pod.
All right.
She's like,
wow,
right,
this one was really mean.
I gotta make sure that motherfucker stays in check. Let you check up on it. Beyonce.
Anywho, we'll get back into it. Wow, we didn't talk about any child shit.
Yes. Wait a minute. Let me ask one question, then we can get into the scene.
Yeah.
When you're working with folks, right? What was a word that we put down here? There was a word. You put typical body.
Yeah.
This typical body, able body. You know, you said Gen Pop earlier, right? When you're working. Do the athletes themselves think about daily that they are like disabled, or no, they're just going about their life? The reason why I bring this up is because I have clients with horrible intrusive thoughts. And those thoughts will be, you know, that they're going to be killed in some way, hurt someone else, lose a limb, go blind, blah, blah, blah. And then jokingly, sometimes I'll be like, people live happy like that all the time. They're like, this is the worst thing that could ever happen to me if I was to lose my legs. And I said, people live like that happy all the time. They have great lives, successful careers, love people. And so not what would you say to my client, but folks are happy with these disabilities, correct? They're not all just miserable fucks just waiting for death. I'm saying this for some of my intrusive thought girlies that are listening and paying attention, that think that everything is ruined if they were to lose something or they were more disabled than which they already are. And could you explain just living with a disability? Do you chronically always think about it? I know obviously there was some doors for you at times, but do your athletes think about it? or they just go about it like, this is just, it is what it is. This is life. I don't know anything different. What do you have to say?
Yeah, I think largely with the population that I work with, I mean, these are people that had to say it is what it is, and I'm gonna go do freaking awesome things regardless. And so that's the only way that you can become an elite athlete with a disability, is to be like, damn, that sucks. All right, I'm gonna keep doing my life, right? Like, quite literally. And I'll say a trigger warning here, because this is oftentimes what is said to people with disabilities. Like, you see someone in a wheelchair. I know multiple people who have been said by a stranger, by somebody in public, like, I don't know how you do it. Like, I don't know how you wake up every day. And it's like, the literal only option is to not, right? Like, the literal only other option other than to just be an amputee, survive your accident, get a prosthetic, start, you still got your friends, you still got your family, you still got your accolades and your accomplishments, and you've got sport, you've got all these things. Like, really nothing changes. The way that you like move through life changes, but like nothing else changes. So my own aunt, love her to death, like said, she was like, I couldn't do it. Like, if I got a spinal cord injury or something and I had to use a wheelchair at this stage of my life, like I wouldn't do it. I'd be done. And I'm like, I promise you, no, you wouldn't. I promise you, no, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
Not much changes. The way that you move through the world looks different. But the things that you have, the things that you've done, the people in your life, it doesn't change. And so about half our program was born with their disability, about half acquired them. Like, are you telling me people who are living amazing lives who were born with a disability, it's like they don't even know any different, right? So it's like disability comes, either you never knew anything different. There's people who are born visually impaired. There's people who acquire visual impairment. It doesn't change much. It's one thing that's different. Everything else is the same. So in a lot of ways, some people with disabilities that acquired their disability like the way they see the world now better than before. A lot, actually, in my experience. Like the things that they have done and accomplished, and the way they view the world better than they used to. A lot of people. But I think you need to spend more time with people who are living what you think is your worst nightmare to realize that it's not. I probably would have thought the same thing. I used to think oftentimes I had very intrusive thoughts when I was younger about like randomly getting shot, which I think is a reality in America, like where that a lot of people have that fear that that's just going to like happen at any time. And that's still a very intrusive thought of mine, but I happen to work with multiple athletes who acquired their spinal cord injury or a leg amputation from that very thing.
Damn.
And they love the way they see the world now, and they love the things that they have done and the things that they've accomplished.
Okay.
It gives you a perspective that you wouldn't otherwise have had. And that's not to say that like, the only way that you can acquire a good perspective of the world is for something like that other people think is awful happen to you, but you just move on. I promise you wouldn't want it to be over any more than you do now. Maybe even less, right? There's recently a woman who, this was only a couple of weeks ago, she was in a motorcycle accident. It just went viral on Instagram, and she lost both of her legs in the accident. And she's in the hospital, and she's just telling her followers, I think she's a motorcycle rider, and she told her followers like what happened. And she was like, I'm okay. She said, I woke up. I was told what happened. I was told I didn't have my legs anymore. She said she had a wave of peace over her, because she was like, nothing I can do. I've still got my friends, my family, my partner. I've got my job. I've got my sport. I've got the things I love. I've got my hobbies. None of that changes. I'm going to have prosthetics. Okay, cool. And I'll do everything just the same. So
okay.
Everybody
Adapt.
that I have worked with as an athlete is completely accepting and at peace with that is who they are. Some of them even think like, yeah, I think that was supposed to happen to me because I wasn't seeing the world in the way that I was supposed to, or I wasn't, a good whatever. So there's a few of them that are like,
you know what? I should have got shot. I deserve to get shot.
Like that, but like, I was like, I was meant to see the world from this perspective. I was meant to there's a famous CrossFit athlete who acquired a spinal cord injury. When Kevin Ogar, he acquired a spinal cord injury in training for the CrossFit Games. Now he uses a wheelchair, and one of his famous quotes is, "I've reached thousands more people than I ever would have standing up."
Yep. Hell yeah. There you go.
We're all really happy. We
Inspiration
all really
porn.
like our lives.
There you go. It's the best kind of porn.
Inspiration porn. The best kind. And it's not illegal.
Well,
yeah.
God, I'm
don't
watching
talk
this.
about-
Let's get into the show, brother.
PowerPoint. Anyhow,
PowerPoint.
So we are doing. So we're covering the show Adaptive on Peacock, which follows 4 athletes: Ezra Freck, Jamal Hill, Josie Asalaxon. That's a tough one. And then Courtney Ryan. All different athletes. All got their disabilities in a different way, which I actually appreciate them showing. So Ezra, from birth, he had like his arm, like an arm defect, and then also his leg was like tangled up and things like that. Jamal, he lost, I believe, all circulation in his legs. And then Josie was in a car accident, and then Courtney, like something just popped in her spine, which you're like, wow.
Blood clot, yeah.
Blood clot. Thank you very much. And so I really appreciate them showing like just not only can you be born different, but also at some point in your life, something could happen, something could change. And yet they take that and they go, okay, well, now this is my life. I'm going to keep going, just like you were saying. And so this follows them as they were in the Tokyo Olympics and then now going to Paris. So there's that 4-year gap in between. And the thing that they all kind of faced together was that they all felt like they could have done better in their sport, right? So with Ezra, he didn't get to place in a medal. Jamal, he got bronze in swimming, and then Josie and Courtney, they got bronze as well in basketball. And so they all face this kind of loss, as well as just they all have this determination that they want to get gold, which as an Olympian, that's your goal, right? To get gold. Some people say they want to get medals. Other people say, I want that gold. And with Ezra especially, he has this thing that I've seen in athletes like Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, is where it's, if you lose, that drives you crazy. It drives you. Winning drives you to get to that next level. And so we get to see in this first clip of him just faulting, and then losing ultimately. And it just showed that, hey, I want to be better. And then his dad's trying to comfort him and stuff. I think as athletes, we've all been through this, where it's like you lose and then you're just like, I don't want to hear anything. I just want to sit in this, because nothing you say can really get to me, because I'm now in a mode that I'm upset, I'm angry, and now I want to, disappointed. But then also now you have this thing where you're like, I want to beat the fuck out of them. Like, next in 4 years, you're going down, right?
Which, funny enough, one of our athletes was the gold medalist, his screensaver. That was Sam.
Oh, shit.
That son of a bitch. Well, he's got a fucking enemy now, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
We're coming for you.
Yeah. America.
No, he's retired. He is Harvard Medical School.
Fuck
now.
that guy.
Yeah.
Fuck
Trying
that
to
guy.
learn and shit.
Yeah. You think you're smarter than us?
Well, because you got gold medal, you think you shit now?
You can just retire now?
Did you go to Harvard, Ezra? Did you?
Yeah.
Hold on now. Don't get shot. Hold on.
What?
Oh my God. Such a good conversation that I ruined again.
Locking back in, and speaking of locking in, so what about this scene really spoke to you? Why do you want to put this scene out of all of them? What got you to put this scene in the front?
Yeah, I think the first 3 minutes, and it's really the theme of the entire docuseries, is largely comes at it from an angle of athletic achievement and the journey of being a high performing athlete, right? And I think in talking about that journey with any sport, you also talk about, you know, where you came from, what your upbringing was like, what are some, you know, trials and tribulations. They do that within any sort of media that is athlete focused. What you see oftentimes in the para sport side of things is the headline, the first paragraph, the whole thing is angled toward, oh my gosh, they defied all odds and they were born with this and they are so different and they were bullied and they look like this and blah 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 blah, and they still did it. And it leaves out that innate that all humans have, that competitive drive, that drive for self performance and self competition, and the pursuit of your highest achieving dream that you can think up. And they leave those parts out, those little details that they'll put in any other like able-bodied athletics. They'll put in the little details, like in that first 3 minutes of adaptive, we know that the weather is, the rain is coming down, and we know that where he's sitting in the world and what the other competitors are like. Not one time in those 3 minutes are you even thinking, oh, what's wrong with him? Like, oh, he looks very, you're not even led there. You're not even led to ask questions and like have that elephant in the room of, oh, this guy's disabled. And so they just go at it how anyone would go at any other media that focuses on athletes period, not athletes with disabilities. So I think that was really well done, because that's what we're looking for. Obviously, throughout the documentary, you're going to address the elephant in the room, as you do with anybody, right? Like there's something that you went through, right, that makes your athletic achievement that much more impressive. And for these athletes, that happens to be a physical disability. Sometimes when you read about it, it's, you know, being one of 12 siblings, you know, on the able-bodied side of things. It's like I was one of 12 with a single mom, or it was I struggled with my mental health in high school. So like, of course, those things come up, but it's not the focus. I was just reading an article. We just signed a Paralympian for our para powerlifting team, and I was trying to find like an article about his athletic achievements, and like the first one that popped up was like, it quite literally said what his injury was. It was like he was shot and acquired a spinal cord injury, and now he wakes up every day and lifts weights. Could you do that if the same thing happened to you? And I was like, what a weird question for the headline. Like, that's just weird. So I think like
it's clickbait.
Yeah, it's clickbait, but it's weird. It's weird. You just like I don't know. So I love the entire adaptive documentary, because you don't really care about the disability. Like you learn about it and you're like, oh wow, interesting. Like
He ain't got no legs.
Yeah, like, oh, he was born like that. Oh, like that happened to him, like Jamal, like that happened on Thanksgiving when he was in middle school or whatever. But after that, like you address the elephant in the room, and then it's just like
athletes
you're locked
doing
in.
shit.
You're just riveted. You are riveted.
Yeah.
Athletes doing shit.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they do that a lot when it's like, especially for like a draft or something. They all, I've mentioned this before. I hate when they do this. They always are just like, well, let's only talk to the ones that have had bad shit happen in their life.
The NBA.
Yes. How were you inspired? How did
and
you
they'll do
this?
stuff like, this person has a little sister with Down syndrome. Let's talk about how cute it is that he's a brother to someone with Down syndrome. And it's like,
yeah, when me and Spence was talking about, like, it'll be like all these black folks, right? And they'll be like,
what trauma did you have growing up?
So
how did that?
Families all through drugs, dad's
but they don't
murdered.
ask that for the white fucking athletes. They're like, what traumas did you go through and shit?
It's weird.
Also, not only that, but they ask the dumbest fucking questions. How are you feeling? How the fuck do you think I'm feeling? My son just got drafted. Like, what? I'm feeling good. There you go.
It's always weird. Those
really
questions are always weird. Like the mom's crying. Like, how do you feel? She's like, just sit in the moment with her. It's fine.
Yeah. Just like, this is amazing. Wow, your son got drafted. Great. All right. Talk to you later.
Because they want them to say like, we were always so poor, and it's like, stop.
We finally got money, and you're like, okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
It's weird. You're right.
That's
it's
another piece of inspiration porn.
Sensational bullshit.
And I know. And I like, it's like this feeling of like you actually expect your audience to yet again be shocked that a Black person is going to buy their mom their dream purse
It's
because
true.
they can finally do it.
Purse.
And
Bitch, we buying houses. What you talking about, purse?
You're gonna buy your mama a house, aren't you? Like, how'd you know?
No, but then like I think about like the same things that they do for like the white families with their kids getting drafted, and it's them sitting with their like 4 golden retrievers and like a big
Oh,
bit of land, and
The
they're
whole
like,
family.
you know, we always just knew he was different growing up. Like he was
We did.
he was just special. He was just something else, and that's it.
against all odds, you really made it, didn't
Against
you?
all odds.
What odds?
Lifting them weights is hard. It is. Putting that shit up and putting it down. Mhm.
Being on JV for 1 year when you were a freshman.
Devastating.
Oh my God.
Really
Yeah.
The disabled kid beats you out for the spot. Terrible.
Maybe we should be talking to them. Nope. Shush, shush, shush. Shush, shush, shush.
So, are there any other movies like this that are movies or shows that I don't want to use the word inspirational, but that like you felt congruent with, you identified
That's fine.
with?
Adaptive is inspirational. You know
Isn't
what I
it
mean?
Hardball or something like that? What was it called?
No, Moneyball. No, it's Hardball.
Murder
Yeah.
Ball.
Murder Ball. That's
Murder
it.
Ball is
That's
the
a great
street
one.
name for wheelchair rugby because
That's a good one.
It is a very, very heavy contact sport. And it's really, really cool. We
Yeah.
happen to have probably the best collegiate wheelchair rugby team. And I think we're 5th in the nation right now for like wheelchair rugby teams, period. So, you know.
Were there any other like movies or shows that you've identified with though as a person, like, or as a character? It doesn't even have to be disability. Like,
And
you're
it can't be Elastigirl from The Incredibles.
Oh my God.
Only in my fantasies.
She's big as hell.
Huh. That's a really good question. I don't know if I have really
That's one for you.
strongly I don't know if I have really like literally other than Elastigirl. I always
Stop
thought
saying
that,
Elastigirl.
Why?
You pervert. Jesus. You see her talking about?
I think I'm straight. So I can say Elastigirl and now
Once you say you think.
No, wait a minute. Stop
we all
saying.
just think we're straight.
Girl, what are some other characters in movies or shows that you
Stop
like
being a
watching?
pervert.
Or,
I like watching.
Or books that you're like, you know what? I feel like good. This feels like me. This
The
is
Elastigirl
This feels
graphic
like me.
novel.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, okay. Have you seen The Intern with Anne Hathaway and Robert De Niro?
Yeah.
Okay. Anne Hathaway's character in there.
Okay.
I rock with her. Also because my longest term client is a 93-year-old.
Okay.
His name is Phil, and Robert De Niro reminds me of Phil in
Yeah.
this movie. And he's like my bestie now. Like genuinely, we go out to eat, we chit chat on the phone, we like hang out at his house sometimes. Like I'll bring him food over and we'll just like hang. But I've been personal training him for like 3-4 years. But because she's also like just got a busy life, like doing crazy stuff. And when I met Phil, someone put him on my schedule during my lunch break, and I was like, fuck no, I don't want to do that. I was like, I remember texting my mom. I'm like, they scheduled this old dude over my lunch break. I have like a 13-hour day. Like, I don't want to do this. And then I met him and he changed my life. So The Intern resonates with me because she's like so busy and doesn't want to fuck with this old dude. But then she fucks with the old dude and then her life changes. So thank you, Phil. Oh my God, so many shout outs today. Philip McBride, 93-year-old client. He's stronger than anybody I've ever worked with.
Shit.
That's all.
Might have to do The Intern.
We might have to do The Intern with you, and then you're just gonna talk about this relationship, and there we go. The thing that connects you both, saggy skin.
Yeah, his is doing better than mine. I'm not gonna lie.
You're like, damn, got me beat. Yeah, but beat.
Fuck that guy.
Jesus.
We're competitive here. We just talked about it. Doesn't matter what, just because she's disabled doesn't mean she isn't competitive.
Thank
I'm
you.
Stretcher.
Just for an FYI, this Phil guy, he was like a 4-time Army vet. He became what's like right under a general.
Isn't it like a major?
Captain? No.
I think
Way
so.
above a
He
captain.
was like a high rank, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to put this in the pod unless you think it'll vibe with the people. He hates Donald Trump more than anybody on the face of
Oh,
the
I can
earth.
put this in as long as you're okay with
And
that being
he is,
in.
yeah, I'm fine with that. But he is so just like proud of his country and proud of his service. and he thinks that is like the worst representation that we could possibly have for the country. He also like has a PhD and a master's, and he was like he was an administrator of a school district for
That's
like
awesome.
40 years.
Good.
Like,
Phil.
dude, I was like, you expect like an old army vet to be like, yeah, get these illegals out of here. He is like, he will find every opportunity to be like, that man is deplorable. And I'm like,
Yeah. Well,
you're right. Slay, Phil.
You right, Phil. You right. What does that mean, slay?
Yeah,
What?
Abby, you say that until one of those illegals takes your job. Then what?
Oh,
You're so right.
Yeah.
You're so right.
Then
I gotta
what?
be
So you got to
careful.
remember that.
I
yeah.
gotta be really careful.
Your job isn't safe at all, Abby. Like,
Oh, yeah, they're gonna come in and steal a treadmill.
Oh my
bastards. Yes, they all do.
brother. We need to be worried about AI. So leave our fucking people alone. Okay.
Literally.
We're not going to get into this right now.
Not right now.
Anything else that you want to drop about the movie or the show or just in general? Or
Yeah. What do you like more? Who's your favorite?
pick one. There's 4 people there. You got to pick one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I met Josie and Courtney at
Oh.
the University of Michigan Wolverine Invitational, which is like this big preseason wheelchair basketball tournament that we have. And I met them. Guys, I was so nervous. I swear to God, because I like saw them on TV, I don't know what it is. If I've already deemed somebody like cooler than me in my head, I turn into a loser talking to them. Like a loser.
I know, I can tell.
And I was like, the restaurant down the street's really good. Like I could not function, but they were so cool. They're the coaches now of the Arizona women's team, and they are so good, but they co-coach. And their team did amazing. They whooped our co-ed, mostly male team's ass.
Wow.
They
Shit.
whooped our ass. And I was like, you guys are freaking awesome.
And they're also a couple. So that's
Yeah.
interesting too. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool. You gotta stay together forever if you're co-coaching, if your job
I
is
know,
to,
right?
yeah.
Together forever.
Spencer normally likes to ask this question. I'm gonna ask you because I think it's really good.
Stealing
If
my
you were a
thunder.
superhero character, what's your favorite superhero character?
She's
Elastigirl.
Fuck,
Mrs.
bro.
Incredible.
Stop.
That's a bad question. That's a
No,
bad question
that's not-
because she
that was-
said it like 80 times.
Literally
Is
stretchy.
it actually is, or that's just because all the perverts online told you that?
That actually is because she kind of leans into the fact that she's hot, right? You know what I mean? And like I get really offended
feel
really
that.
easily when people say weird stuff on my comments, and I'm like, you know what? What would Elastigirl say? She'd say thank you. She'd like wink at him. I gotta be more like
She'd enjoy it.
I thought that was only because the stuff. I didn't realize she actually liked Elastigirl.
No.
You said Elastigirl like 60 times.
I
and
thought
you're
it was
like,
only in reference to the perverts.
This is mostly unserious. I like that there's she clearly has classical Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, okay? So I like that disabled representation in a Disney movie.
This is awesome. I didn't know that.
Joking.
Oh, well, get the fuck out of here. I'm too autistic for this. No.
I thought it was the truth.
Whatever.
Wait, joking. Disabled representation in Incredibles. They
That's
didn't do that.
not what I meant. I didn't know. It's fine. Elastigirl thick as hell.
He's
I'm
gonna
just gonna leave it at that.
because he's like, I look like a fool.
On my own damn podcast.
I look like a damn fool. Elite.
If this doesn't make it in,
I hope your
know
knees straighten out and you fall down, you motherfucker.
Oh yeah? You want to
Shit.
say it's my Instagram?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Shit.
How do I do that?
She can
That's Spencer doing that.
hey,
Sign me
hey.
up.
She's got the perverts on her side as I'm typing away. Like, yeah, fuck him.
Oh my God, Spencer's gonna be your.
Yeah.
I'm gonna attack you,
Yeah.
and Spencer's
Yeah.
gonna back you up.
Yeah.
Every
Fuck that
time there's
guy.
every time that there's a comment, there will be like defending me, being like, "Don't say gross stuff about her. Like that's weird." Someone will be like, "She ain't gonna let you hit, bro," and I'm like, "No, somebody's defending
fact.
me, and you're going after the person."
That's awesome. It's terrible awesome. Okay, I'm actually going to tease you from the podcast from now on. I will tease you in the comic section from now on. We
That's
met her in
fine.
person. She was terrible.
And I'm gonna reply,
Stop
"She ain't
it.
gonna let you hit, bro."
You won't do it. I swear.
I'm not a pervert.
Nah, tell that to the pictures.
Canva.com.
Canva.com.
Canva. Oof. So before Abby, I also see you like to sing. You're a singer. You like to sing. Yeah.
I don't know how you know that, but
Well,
She
you know,
finds it.
YouTube's a funny place, isn't it?
Girl, you got some.
I could pop up a video right now.
please don't do that.
Oh no, we're gonna put it in the podcast. I promise.
Just not the holiday one, okay? My vocal cords were half
Oh yeah.
in my third
No, this
grade,
one you're
not the
lisping a
holiday
lot. You have a good lisp in this one.
As it was like,
Do I really?
Mr. President.
I don't know. I didn't know if you had a lisp or not. Like any other
I didn't
thing.
think I did, but okay.
Any other thing that like I saw you in, I was like, she doesn't have a lisp here. Maybe it's just for the song. What's that one?
No, I'm so scared. I'm so scared.
I'm not gonna click on it.
Oh,
I'm clicking on it.
fine. Yeah.
No, no.
I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna edit it into the pod. We're gonna have a 2-minute session of that.
Yeah, we're gonna have a great time with that one.
No, like please, because I actually can sing. This is just like my little like blip of like choral phase where I was trying to like which was not for me.
You
Okay.
had a good voice. I thought you had a good voice. I just thought it'd be funny to bring it up.
I thought it was
My
pretty good.
brother's a professional musician, so
Go. There
Whole
you
family's
go.
talented.
the disabled kid and then the choral.
Oh, you hush now.
She's living in her brother's shoes. Footsteps?
As you're like buff as shit and like fucking just starting programs and everything, just doing all these. There it is.
Well, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
pose right
yeah.
there.
My mom would like you.
Hey, I'm always mom's favorite.
Yeah, that's
Dad,
because he's
no.
white passing.
Yeah, it's true. I'll take care of your daughter. It'll be fine.
They say me and they're like, oh my
Nope.
God.
Nope, not that one. Not that one. I don't know what he is. Either he's Polynesian or he's Arab. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know
Mexican, black, white people.
But
are like,
either
he's
way,
black.
I don't like it. I don't like it. Get him out of here.
I don't like it.
Not
It's-
that one.
It's
He's
that
not one of the
Family
good
Guy
ones.
reference when they hold up the colors and the signs.
Like, no, doesn't pass. Doesn't pass.
Doesn't pass.
All right. So before we get out of here, would love to know, anything you want to shout out, socials, people, what you're doing. Go for it.
Your nemesis.
Cool. My
Or
nemesis.
that.
Okay. See, I always say
Syndrome.
my Instagram at Abbey Phillipson, but then people think my name is spelled normal. My brother picked my name. He had a crush on a girl in his kindergarten class named Abby, and it was spelled like mine. And we didn't know that was why he picked it, but Abbey Phillipson. My Instagram. I post funny videos about living with my condition, but also funny videos with our athletes and just being around cool, awesome, diverse people who also live with disabilities. So follow that. But other than that, at UMich Adaptive Sports is our adaptive sports account. And so you can see any upcoming events, team tryout kind of things, different events that you can go to, live streams if you want to watch parasport. I think the best way to get involved in parasport and seeing disabled people do freaking awesome things is to put yourself in positions to do that. So if you see a live stream pop up, powerlifting, we're probably benching more than your dad did in his I could have gone D1 before I tore my ACL. So watch some parasport, watch some athletes do some incredible things. So you can follow that page for more information there. And then you can also use that Instagram to get on our newsletter, which has different opportunities to play adaptive sports, whether you have a disability or do not have a disability. Adaptive sports are for everybody. It's a way that we can play together. So if you want to get on the newsletter to see when we are doing different adaptive sports events, please do. And then last but not least, our program is also doing a physical education initiative in Southeast Michigan. So we have a current grant from the state where we are making the curriculum to have adaptive sports as a unit in physical education classes in middle schools and high schools in Southeast Michigan. And so I hope that inspires you to do something similar. If you are a person with disability or know someone with a disability listening to this and you think that the person that you know or yourself should have been able to be involved in PE class when they were younger and have inclusive participation opportunities, I hope that inspires you to do something similar in your local school district. So
Amazing.
That's all.
Abby, you were a delight to have. We'd love to have you on again. And hopefully there's an invitation we can come in, Say
I
what's
would
up.
be happy. I would
Say
be
what's
happy
up.
doing it. If you guys are ever out in, little upper Midwest in the mitten, come out to an adaptive sports
Upper
event. That would be so
Midwest.
cool.
I'm in fucking Minnesota, so I'm going
Oh,
down.
hell.
Going
Yeah.
down.
You're a troll to him.
Ew.
The UP people, the Upper Peninsula people call people in Michigan
Upers.
trolls.
Is that what we do?
Yeah.
Oh.
FYI, so I am doing a lot of this and moving back to Detroit, hopefully in the next year or so. And we'll be opening up a community center for folks that are like us. And guess who's going to be helping with some consultations for like autism and weightlifting? I will pay you, FYI.
Contractual.
Yeah.
You said it.
Yeah. Guess who's going to fit right in with our artistic community? And
Definitely
ADHD
not me.
community? Lego.
I can barely do a sit up. I'm like,
yeah, girl. So we're going to be in contact.
Okay. I can't wait to be in contact. And we also have an adaptive track and field has an intellectual disability classification. So we have multiple athletes who are autistic and run track. And one of them represents Team USA. So
Damn.
very cool. We'll definitely connect further.
Oh, 100%.
That's awesome.
We got you.
nice. Well, there you go. Making connections here on the podcast.
Mhm.
Really just a pervert.
Oh, God. You're like, yeah, that's right.
The
All
pervert
right.
living his dream.
Would you like to sing us out, Abby?
Wait, I
Hey.
do it with a list.
Yeah, do it with the no, that's my own thing. We'll keep that for later. So
Okay.
thank you, Abby. Appreciate it. With that, I'm Spencer. That's Nas, different special podcast.
All right, everyone. Fantastic pod today. Thank you for listening. Remember, take care of yourselves.
Or don't.
And that's up to you. Peace.
Tell me what you